All right, you loyal listeners. Welcome to another episode of Agents Influence Conversations with Jay Cass, right here, rocking this. Since 2013, we've been just straight killing it, you know? And then if you want to, you can just say straight crushing it. And if you want to say it, you can just stay getting the shout outs. But here is what we have always been about. We have always been about giving a voice to those who have no voice so that we can create forward change and momentum in the greatest industry God ever created. That's been the slogan since March of 2013, and it still is. And not to say this person doesn't have a voice, but this is his introduction. Some of you have already met him, some of you already know him, but this is your introduction, loyal listeners, to somebody who I think is going to be someone that is going to be a powerhouse in the industry because of his knowledge and his understanding of helping us agents be more rounded in the way that we're looking things. And no, he's not a sales guru. He's not anybody. Who he is Mr. Ryan Chandler. Ryan, welcome to the podcast, buddy.
Hey, Jason Cass. Pleasure to be on with you. This is an exciting moment, something I've been looking forward to, and just, getting to shoot it back and forth and have some good conversation together. So thank you for having me here.
So once again, I was introduced to Ryan through Steve Moore, our buddy, and he told me about this guy. He said, man, you got to get to know this guy. He told me about you, I believe, in Tampa in November. And when we were at IAON, I was like, okay, I guess I got to get to know this guy. And then when we were in Arizona for the Better Agency Conference, that is where we first started, actually got to know each other, hung out at the golf course, played a fabulous course.
Keeping up with you, Cass. got some things to learn, but that was it.
We all got things to learn, especially on that golf course. And so I think that's where we kind of got to know each other. And anybody that knows when you play golf, you really get to know somebody. It doesn't really matter. You could really already know them, and you'll get to know them more on the golf course. And I have to stand out and say that Ryan is Ryan. You're an individual that this industry needs. You have high energy. You come with a good education. You come from a strong family. You live in Washington, and you're thinking about moving to Texas, so that's a plus right there. I lived in Texas and moved to Washington. And why I invited you on here is because I want you to do some of these with me. And loyal listeners, you've seen Jeff Shee, you've seen Caitlin, you've seen a lot of other people who have always co-hosted with me. And so probably for the next 2, 3, 4, you will probably even more than that, you'll be hearing Ryan on. So Ryan, I'm really looking forward to introducing you to the industry.
Hey, thank you very much. I'm excited to be here, and I just a quick little tidbits that you gave, speaking to the roots of who I am and the cloth that I'm cut from. That's really what I try to move forward with in the walk of life and what I try to bring to the table every day. So it's something I'm excited to just push forward with in this industry and really help people to understand what those tools can mean to their business on an everyday basis and what that means to the larger picture at whole. So just excited for that conversation. I just appreciate all the good words from you, man. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, it's the beginning because you were. The way that I can say it without going on, loyal listeners, is he was a breath of fresh air. It really, truly was. And I'm definitely not saying the air's stale, though. We've got a lot going on in this industry. There's been a lot of 100%. Movement in this industry. But he has huge high energy. So here's what we're going to go. We're going to go ahead and start him off the way that we do everybody else. Are you an iPhone or are you a Droid user?
I'm iPhone, formerly Android. I think I got roped into the iPhone per my wife. She was tired of seeing the green bubbles, and I eventually folded. I fought hard, but the waves kept crashing, and eventually, man, I ended up on the beach with the rest of them. So the waves kept crashing. Yeah, that's a hard fight to paddle against, man. When the waves got you going against the currents, man, you might as well turn around and ride that wave in, baby. So, happy wife, happy life, right?
The wife is the current, and ain't she the current, the wife is the current.
Oh, yeah, she's the mover and shaker, so she keeps your guy aligned. But, unfortunately, I don't know if it's an unfortunate.
What's the last app you downloaded? What's the last app you downloaded?
Oof, last app I downloaded. It's actually TripIt. per Steve Moore gave some recommendations, a little bit of organizational on a lot of the traveling we're doing amongst the conference circuits. I mean, you're jumping from place to place. You need your itinerary in order. And yeah, it was just some good insight about how that app can, you forward all your information into one place and it creates this itinerary for you where you have all your information in one spot. So just being an organizational type of...
Steve told me about that. So you get your Southwest ticket and it sends you your itinerary in your email. You forward it to a certain place and they put it in the app and it's all in your calendar and all your information.
100% accurate. And it just, makes it easy. Everything's in one spot. If you're looking for a confirmation number, if you're looking for your rental, agreement, then it's right there. You can pull it up pretty simply, just well organized, and just looking for more tools to add to my life to help with that organizational, onset and what I'm trying to do in life and keeping myself structured. I think it's a good thing to have. So gonna immerse.
And so you're using an app to do that,
Correct.
and you're using other things as well. But all you loyal listeners, this is the reason why you need to get your ass out there and get that CXP from Glovebox. Now, I'm telling you right now, hey, there's people like Ryan out there. Ryan, what are you, 30?
32. So I'm climbing up the ladder.
Yeah, he's at 32, but there's people like him that are saying, how can I make my life easier? And you're not giving our clients the opportunity to service themselves, get their ID cards, make their own payments, do changes. I mean, come on, we got to get there. Just like this man right here, making his life easy. Glovebox, check him out. I'm telling you right now.
And I will say, as an independent agent, if that's not something you're utilizing at this point, give them a try. It's a life changer. It's an experience like no other, not only for yourself, but for the most important people in our business, the customer. So why not give them an experience that's unmatched? And Glovebox.
That's right. That is right. I'm about to pull out a chair so you can climb on this mountain and preach. I'm telling you right now.
Somebody's got to hear it, right?
Well, somebody's got to, and somebody's got to say it.
Yeah, 100%, baby.
So here's another thing. Do you love to win or do you hate to lose?
Ooh, that's a good one. Oh man, that's tough. I think I love to win, but I think that fright of losing scares me more. I think not meeting the standards that I have for myself in life and for those around me are what drives. And so winning feels good, but that fear of losing is something special, and it's keeps you motivated to push harder.
Fear of losing. I like how you use the fear of losing. That's interesting to say that. I like that. Two things in the world we believe at AI got you to where you are today. We're going to say one is luck and one is skill. What would you say is the biggest factor in your life?
I think skill sets you up for when luck comes your way. So you put the skill in place, and when that opportunity, let's call it luck, comes crossing, you have the skill sets to back up that lucky opportunity that's crossed your path. So skill sets built the foundation, luck helped carve the path forward. So I think all of us need a little bit of luck in our sides to help move things forward. And you just got to be prepared for when it comes. And that's the skill and the work you've put in from time past to get there.
That's right. Now I want to write this down because you said luck carved the path to get there.
The skills allowed you to be prepared for that opportunity.
I like that, though. I like how you said that, though. Luck carved the path to get there. But that was the foundation, and then I like that a lot. That might be the name of this episode. But then again, if you know Mr. Ryan Chandler, he's spitting game like this all the time. Right? I tell you what, if a business was a woman, you would not believe the game that this guy spits. I'm telling you right now. I don't know what that means, but I was just trying to illustrate that this guy's got serious game. So, anyways, and you're married, right?
I am. I'm married, going on 2 years here pretty soon. So we got actually 5 days from my anniversary. So we're coming up. The 25th will be our anniversary time. So we're getting there.
Did you say how long?
2 years.
2 years.
2 years. I got married May 25th 5th, 2020. It was middle of the pandemic. We were supposed to get married in Belize. We were supposed to honeymoon in Italy. The world turned upside down, and just being somebody who's not going to let a situation hold them down, we kind of re-navigated the cards that we were dealt. Ended up going to Home Depot, finding some good wood, putting some screws in, building an arch right in my parents' backyard. Had a couple close people, and that was it. Right there in my parents' family home. So it was nice.
Stop at Chandler.
Oh no, we're gonna find a way, baby. We're gonna find a way. There's a good woman in front of me. I wasn't gonna let that one get away. I've been fishing for a while. I was gonna lure that sucker in. Oh, found my trophy. Oh, so yeah. Now she's the one that cracks me and whips me into shape. So I'm trying to stay straight, baby.
Don't they all?
But that's when you got a good thing. When you know you got somebody that's going to support you and lift you and hold you strong to whatever it is that you put forth in front of you. They're going to be that battery in your back. So that's what I'm always appreciative of her from, and keeps me good in the space. So.
Yeah, she does. And it's the women are fantastic. They really keep me in line as well. Now, not women, just one.
What? I hope she's not listening.
So anyway, I mean, tell us a little bit about your past. Take us back to college, high school, wherever you want, and bring us forward to how you got to where you are now.
100%, man. So I actually, love to go through this because I think it's one of the things that add to my well-roundedness and part of the fabric of the human being that I am. So, born and raised Southern California, born in Whittier, California, around LA County for those that are familiar with the area. From there, went to high school in North Carolina, Charlotte actually. From there, went to East Carolina University, so kind of kept those North Carolina roots.
Gotcha.
After graduation in East Carolina, shot up to New York. Worked in the sports industry for the better half of my career thus far, and then from there, made a transition over to the Pacific Northwest, where I had some small businesses that I had started up with some friends of mine, and then eventually found my way into the insurance industry or insurtech space. So now big.
You're queued up.
Yep, QuoteWizard Lending Tree. So it's a good place to be. We're trying to do some great things in the industry. So that's kind of the all around arcing of me kind of going to different spaces in the country. And now I'm, as you started, headed to Texas in a couple of weeks. So I've been able to experience all four corners of the country. Now I'm going to go ahead and go right down the pipeline in the middle, and it gives a well-roundedness just to learning all the different walks of life that are a part of this beautiful country. So it's
everything's bigger in Texas.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to get to know that. It's a lot going on out there. So we're gonna get those Texas two-step roots happening here pretty soon.
Yep. Well, dude, I'm excited for that. And so the insurance industry, being in it, what, a year and a half?
Yep, year and a half at this point. So.
And you're in charge of strategic partnerships with like Allstate and stuff like that. Right?
More independent landscape. So I'm working with a lot of your networks, your clusters, a lot of your integration partners. Just really end goal is to make the agent's life easier. We've seen, what that captive side looks like. And so my main initiative within the independent landscape is just to be that partner for the agents at the end of the day. And, as far as QuoteWizard Lending Tree is concerned, how can we be an asset to those that are boots on the ground, meeting with the customers, writing business every day? And so the more work I can do in the space to make their lives easier is my end goal. And that's why I'm here, is to keep chucking away at that boulder and creating a path for us all to thrive. So.
And in the quote game, we're being realistic as to who our competitor is. And you may have, I think it's probably opposite. Let's say it's 70-30 on the captive side, meaning 70% of their business is generated by leads. 30% is coming in off the
referral
State
base.
Farm or whatever banner or whatever,
Yep.
But in the independent, it's opposite of that, right?
100%.
I was at BrainShare, and I said, who buys leads? There were 3 people in the entire room, and I think more do it. I just don't think that they always want to say
to come up front with it.
But let's say there was 5 or 10 out of 120. It's like, What? And I was one of those, and we just recently started that.
I'm interested in that, Cass. I would love to hear that. Just your experience.
Yeah, we've been with them since January. We been with them. QDub, and they. By the way, if we hadn't said it as he did, QuoteWizard, owned by Lending Tree, but QuoteWizard, we like to call him QDub because we're cool like that.
Yeah, QDub.
You know.
That's it.
So we got them, and what was really cool is your online system is really great. And keep in mind, loyal listeners, I'm not doing this, but I watched Jeremy do it a lot. If there's wrong information, you just simply tell them, hey, wrong information, and that stuff happens. Didn't happen a lot. You get that credit back. They were really nice on that. We ended up, and I can't remember. It was like 7, 5, and 7. It was 7, 5, and 5 or something like that for the month of January, February, and March. That's all I know. I don't know April as of right now. And we got 7 new clients was package, auto and home. We got 5 and then 5, or it was 5, 7, and 5. Doesn't really matter. It was the same thing. There was about 17 people that we ended up getting. And over that time, we spent, I'd say, I think it was around $2,800. Not exactly sure on that. Could be 25. It could be 3,000, somewhere in there. So if you think about that in our space, Ryan, in Southern Illinois, we say, and loyal listeners, $750 is premium for one vehicle. So if you have 2-vehicle house, that's $1,500, and then our average homeowner is around $1,250. Probably $1,500, but we use $1,250. That means our average client is $2,750. So when we figure that, that's around $400 in commission. Well, if I got 17 of those times 40, I got way more than the $2,500 to $3,000 I spent, and I'm going to renew 80, 90% of those next year. See, so you got to see that long-term game. And we don't see that in our industry a lot as agency owners. That
is beautiful. And I'm glad to hear your use case and seeing that you're having that success, because I think that's what's needed. It's a scary road to travel down for independent agents who aren't used to that model, who come from a referral-based business. But the more folks like yourself express the good and the success that they've had behind utilizing partners like QuoteWizard, that shows the value that they can experience by utilizing a lead gen partner. So happy for you, brother.
And here's also the thing. Here's also the other thing, Ryan, is that we didn't have a CRM. And we got Agency Zoom. It's never been a big thing with us doing commercial. We're a lot of hands-on calling, going and seeing people. We're changing that up, especially on personal lines. And we went and got Agency Zoom specifically for the fact that we had done this with QuoteWizard, because you need the automations. That's the thing. The agency's got to be set up for
it.
Yes. You're going to get the leads.
Yes.
That was another thing we could do. We could set the times that they would come in. So they would come in at 9, not between 12 and 1, and they would come in then till 4. So we always had somebody who was there trying to balance that out. We were able to go preferred homes and different things like that. So it's just weird because, like, I admit it, Ryan, I'm one of them old schools that's like, man, we don't do online leads, but
let's give it a try.
We danced a little bit, and I mean we won out. Ended
up finding some rhythm. I like that. You dance, you find a little rhythm, and next thing you know, you're working the floor. So.
That's right, and that is Cass. But I'm telling you this also. I think we even wrote 2 life insurance policies out of that as well.
Wow!
Right?
See that cross pollination that happens through just having them in your funnel, and now you have the ability to have a conversation with them, and who knows where those roads will lead. All you got to do is open the door, and sometimes having a lead gen business on top of your referral side of your house, it just adds the best of both worlds. So why not implement both?
Yeah, and that's right. And loyal listeners, that doesn't mean that we just run out and go to a lead company like QDub.
100%.
We need to actually have our systems in place. Now, don't let that hold you up, because a lot of that automation can be simply done on a pad of paper and an Excel file if you don't have a CRM to actually tell you, because we didn't at very first, and that's why we went and got Agency Zoom. And the thing with Agency Zoom also in QuoteWizard, and you probably do this with a lot of CRMs, it just, when the lead comes in, it goes right into the system.
Yep, that was actually one of the first integrations I did coming on board with QuoteWizard. So Agency Zoom is phenomenal product. And as you have a use case experience, you kind of see how that once the integration is complete, lead comes right in and your processes begin. So it's not far along from an outreach happening immediately once that's in your inbox. So
kicks out triggers to where you can kick out a text message or follow up, and then they move them in. You got to just loyal listeners, take a chance, try it. Maybe there's a lot of people. It's hard to find people right now that you can hire, but that's more of a CSR role, I have to say, or of a service role. There's a lot of great producers out there. We're growing with producers. I think it's there's a lot of great talent out there actually still that hasn't found their spot. So you can check those out. Now, when we're what are you thinking about this industry coming from outside this industry, being in all, as you say, four corners of this country? What do you think of this industry? No bullshit, the good, the bad, the ugly.
Well, I mean, a lot of what I'm able to speak to is what I've seen in the sports industry. And so coming from a place where I was working amongst many of your loyal listeners' favorite athletes, your favorite organizations, their favorite sports team, I got a firsthand account into how those brands are built and the juggernaut of the machine behind that, if you'll call it. And watching what's taking place in the industry, I think that's one of the brightest spots of the future for this space is everybody's really taking a hold of their own brand and really grabbing that bull by the horns and understanding what that means for their business and what brand marketing can do, what having that inbound opportunity, and once that consumer is able to invite themselves into your brand, they're able to fall in love with it because of you putting energy behind that marketing and that face and making yourself more than just somebody who's closing that consumer to a policy. You actually give them an experience that makes them feel whole, makes them feel welcomed, and it's good to see the space really striving forward in that sense. And then, I'll second that to say just the innovation behind our landscape. I think from an InsurTech side of the house that I'm, able to be a part of, I think, there's a lot of vendors across the independent and captive side that are really pushing the envelope now and really taking a focus on how to move this space forward and how do we make agents' lives easier at the end of the day. So it's great to see a lot of the innovative partners wholeheartedly caring about the agent's day-to-day workload and how we can, save them time, save them energy, and do what they love best is talking to those customers and finding them the policies so that we can all be vacationing on the beach somewhere one day. So. That's
right. Let's say back 10 years ago, loyal listeners, like if you got 100 leads, like one or two of them was actually pretty good. Today, I would say that that's moved up to 15 to 25. You're still, and Ryan would tell you, you're still going to have to go through and find the good ones. But I can see in today, mastering it today, when in 5 years, 50 to 70 of those will be good ones, right? Only because they're the people that are my son right now who's 17, and in 5 to 10 years when he's doing this, obviously dad's, insurance agent, but if he was doing this, he's not going to want to even use the means that we use today. One of the things that I think is being transformed, I'm going off on a tangent here, but not really, but off the main thing is email. I was just talking with Sarah Nicholas. Email is becoming the most worthless point of communication. You can't send big files. You can't put in links because companies block it. You can't send out an email to 10 people and expect them all to get it because it goes to spam. Email is becoming freaking pointless. What do you think about that, Ryan?
Oh, man, 100%. I mean, I even look at ourselves internally. That's kind of, I think our last juggernaut is our email marketing. When we have kind of it's called a 6-tier optimization of what that marketing is. Our search SEO is number one. Then we have our owned and operated websites, which everybody's familiar with, is the landing tree and QuoteWizard.com owned and operated sites. From there, it's social media. I mean, social media is where a lot of folks are spending their time nowadays. So if you catch that consumer where they're interacting most, that's where the most touch points exist. Then we'll go into display ads next, and then the next rung down is your marketing relationships. And at the very bottom, you have that email marketing. So just giving that tier of how we're moving throughout our own sources, it's very true, and I can echo that 100% what you're saying.
Wow, dude, that was loyal listeners. That was cool. We didn't even script that or anything because I never script anything. But no, I just was having this conversation with Sarah, and then you point back to after all of your. Let's be honest, you guys have a lot more money to be doing research and doing that stuff, and that's how you do it as your importance. I know loyal listeners, there's a lot of you out there that are like, hey, Jason, that's our main for. I'm not saying it's bad. Maybe it's working for you. Maybe you're using a platform that's more trusted. I don't know. But like even whenever I was sending out my brain share messages, Ryan, people in my office don't get them. And they don't get them because we have an encryption thing that goes in between our internal emails, and it puts it in a quarantine that you have to go look for, and no one in my office knows how to do it. And what we do is we have every once in a while, once a month, once every 2 months, I don't know, we have somebody go through that quarantine to make sure nothing's in there, and it's actually really good at getting the junk. Except BrainShare's not drunk, right?
This is real stuff. We want it to be seen,
dude. And so that's why I have to go to text. And text is the only way that I can get everybody who's a BrainShare. I can send out a text and everybody gets it. You know what I mean? And they get it instantly.
It's funny you say that because one of our top salesmen, that is literally his go-to strategy. He doesn't like to have any conversation without getting a phone number because text is his main source of communication, and that's where he sees the most success. It's through that text message. All of us carry our phones in our hand. We probably spend more time than we want to looking at that bright LED screen. So if you have,
as long as you're providing value, you can come into my text inbox, right? You can come in there if you're providing value. If it's some spam or no marketing. I don't want you to market to me in there. You do not have to do that. And I do not want that. But if you're providing value, like, hey, Jason, your bill's coming due. I don't really have those, but back when I was doing that stuff, my wife takes care of that now. But when I had that didn't bother me at all because I was like, oh, okay, we need to know that. If you're going to send me my ID card, because I just made a change, I have Glovebox, but not everybody does. So if I send that and it's in my text, I can open it up and just save it to my images, right?
Yep.
So it's like it's easier to use, and I think agents have to get that out of your brain. Provide value. I think you should probably, like I told the mastermind members, I collected all their cell phone numbers, and I said I might use this 5 to 8 times throughout the whole year. I just need it so whenever I send something important out and only 30% of you are getting it, I need to get that out there because then people will be like, Jason, you didn't tell me this. I'm like,
well, I probably got lost in your inbox somewhere. So.
It did. And you know what? Some of them hang out in Facebook and they see it. Some of them hang out in LinkedIn. Some of them don't. But like I said, as you said, everybody's got that phone. And everybody will answer that text, So anyways, okay. So we went off that way and you went into technology and everything. It is amazing that that you've been in here a year and a half and you were one of the people who had to work and push to get the integration between Agency Zoom and QuoteWizard. And because what's crazy is Agency Zoom is a tech company, you guys are a tech company, and it took someone from the outside. That's just how this industry is. And that's why what I like to say, fresh water, you are fresh water, you're fresh air to our industry. And I really, really like that,
Yeah, 100%. I appreciate that. And just understanding what QuoteWizard's business at the end of the day and understanding why we're here. It's all about searching for avenues where we're going to make that agent's life easier. I try to put myself in the shoes of an agent. Although I've never worked a day in actual office, insurance office, I still can sit back and listen to the conversation and understand how they work their business. And so if I can help save incremental time throughout that process, then let's find some tools, let's find some assets that are going to make that process easier. So, finding these integrations, especially for independents, I mean, that's where my heart is. That's where my passion lies is understanding, the role the independent agents play in this space. And every day it's waking up to see, what tools, what technology, what assets exist where, QuoteWizard could be a better partner to what we're trying to achieve here. So, Integrations are big. We want these systems to be able to talk to each other. I think that's not only for ourselves, for QuoteWizard, but the more all these technology companies take that on and find ways where we can speak to each other and send data back and forth, it's only going to benefit the agent at the end of the day. And that's all who we're here for. We're all here for the agents. Right. So let's do our best for them.
Appreciate your time, buddy. And what we're going to do is you're going to be coming back, obviously, as we start to do this. And yes, loyal listeners, it won't be all about QuoteWizard. And it really wasn't here. It's about just introducing Ryan, but that's what he does do. Love QuoteWizard, but they're going to have to make you CEO in the next 5 to 10 years. They're going to use you because you have too much talent. And I've also met some of your colleagues. They're fantastic.
Yes,
as well.
yes, we got a good group.
QuoteWizard hired well.
We got a good group. But yes, Jason, I'm looking forward just to expressing more of what I bring to this space from the history I've spent in the sports realm and some other positions throughout my time. But I think that's going to be one of the major keys is helping agents to understand what their brand means for them, what building your own image does for that whole pipeline and consumer process. So. All here for giving your listeners all the nuggets that I possess and more. Like I said, I spent some time in the room with some big players in the athlete space. So if anything means anything for us, we'll get those conversations going.
Yep, and I look forward to it. Loyal listeners, this is going to be a treat for you as well. Ryan Chandler, he was a treat for me for the 3 days I hung out with him, and the many hours he's going to be in your ear. I think you're going to like it as well. And just remember, loyal listeners, I do what I do because I do it for you. This has been Jason Cass with Agents Influence Podcast Network. Tell me your thoughts and tell me your ideas, and I'm going to tell the world what you have to say. This has been Cass. He's Chandler. We're out.